Good morning. Welcome to OptionsTender. It is Wednesday, June 25th, 2025. So we're going to go through SPX on the daily and 65. Check out our indicators and look at the VIX, which is a possible reversal today. We did go through for $4.99 a month members. There's my wife's printing some stuff here in the office, so sorry about the background noise there. So we went through a few different things. If you're considering becoming a member, we went through the MAGS, that's the Magnificent Seven ETF, and I compared that to SMH when it was a new product, okay, and showed you what that looked like and what my expectations for that are. And then we did a meta trade today. We put on a trade, so I explained that, and then our reversal indicators such as the put to call ratios, how complacency is happening right now. And yesterday did a Wyckoff distribution, and I really like how perfect this distribution was. And this is my first time really kind of studying it, and it's laid out perfectly to the first, I believe it was first schematic. But either way, overall, I think we're looking for the second schematic on a bigger scale where we're getting a lower high, and the schematic one on NDX where we made a higher high. So we'll see what price action does here. If it continues to grind higher, maybe we get up to the historic trend lines from before. Doesn't really look like it to me, but anything can happen. Let price tell us what to do. We had a nice trade on Tesla as well. So, okay. That's $4.99 a month. And then if you just want to get these intraday, consider becoming a YouTube supporter. It's 99 cents a month, and you get these intraday. Plus the Discord comes with that and trade alerts. All right, that's 99 cents a month. Who cares? Join us. All right, so let's jump into this. We have SPX on the daily time frame, and again, I believe this is very similar on a smaller scale of distribution here. We have another wedge forming, and along with this wedge, we have the setups of our indicators. So our moving averages say, hey, we're bullish. We're in a bullish stance, but we're into resistance. We're into our first, second, and there's our third, if we choose to do so. All right, McClellan oscillator, negative divergence today again. All right, as a matter of fact, as of today, it went down. Negative divergence yesterday, if you want to be precise. So this is rolling over. I do think we'll see some much lower prices coming here soon. All right, our MACD, again, negative divergence. We have our 3-peak, which we noticed that 3-peak in a couple different products that we talked about in the individual analysis. Now we're getting that, again, that headwind to the bears. The slow stochastic still heading higher, so we're not going to get that reversal here today specifically, unless something abrupt happens with news. But this should start to roll over pretty soon here, maybe as soon as tomorrow. DMARC. What's going on with the DMARC? So nothing really, no setup here yet. We had those 9 sell signals, got a consolidation and went up higher to fill out the wedge a little more. Awesome oscillator, just continuing to head lower. Got a little green bar there. Now let's go to SPY so we can look at the money flow index. So this is very similar to the RSI. If you're not familiar, if you're new here, we use this to catch reversals. This is a very good indicator. And this includes volume. So it's a RSI plus volume, okay? And right now we're catching another reversal here. It clearly hasn't happened yet, right? So we have negative divergence here and here. And in the near term, from this peak to this peak, also negative divergence. What this says is distribution. Wyckoff. Bollinger Band into the top. This is another sell signal, as it could have been as of yesterday. Yeah, we touched it yesterday, so 2 days. This is a sell signal. This is a classic sell signal with the RSI in overbought conditions and into the top of the Bollinger Band. That's a setup, you guys. Volume shelf, we're at the top of this area here. LA oscillator telling us 3 to 5, and in a lower degree, 3 to 5. Let's see. If you look at the weekend analysis, I give the targets to the downside, show you the different scenarios. So we're not going to go through that. Let's check out the VIX. The VIX, we have our trend line higher lows here. All right, you could argue this is going to be some sort of consolidation with the lower high at this point, but nevertheless, an uptrend here and a possible higher low. Now, we talked about those cycles yesterday or today. We're in the zone. We're getting reversal candle in the zone for a low. Now, what we have to find out is this going to be a lower high and then we break down? That is the issue with likely a cycle low happening here into the beginning of July, with this starting to head lower here, but we're at the low right now. So is this going to be a right-hand translation where we spike higher and then get crushed, making a new higher high and then a higher low in this time frame, and continue to have this positive setup? That's what we're going to look for. And so what that would look like on SPY is that would say, hey, we're at the peak right now on the VIX, on a low on the VIX and a peak here in SPY, and we get our initial first wave lower. All right, and so the VIX would spike, and then we get our wave 2 price action, and so then you get that low into we'll just call it July 7-Eleven, right? Slurpee day. So we're looking for our first initial move that should spike the VIX and make a new high. And then as we start to make a low here, we should see again a bounce, a dead cat bounce. And then with that peak of the dead cat bounce, you should see the low here in the VIX. All right, so move higher. Boom, you have the inverse head and shoulder, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, breakout from that, maybe up to 35 or so. You can measure that. The VIX is a very volatile instrument, so I'm not going to say that this is the exact measurement of what's happening, but just take your neckline to the top of or bottom of the head in this case, and we'll leave this on here so we can kind of refer to it in the future videos. And it's probably not perfect, but that's okay. So you take that from your neckline, and there you go. There's your measure move up to 28. So if we make a new high here, break out, get up to 28, and then that would be the first wave down for SPY, and then we get a pullback that maybe holds 22 or even 19 into this low here, the higher degree low, the major cycle, dominant cycle, as Slim says, low here with a higher low. Okay, so that would be, and then you get wave 3 to the downside, which should be a larger spike in the VIX, and so on. So it should work its way up and down here. Let's go to SPY. And we'll go to the 65. And look at the traditional look here. We had the bearish rising wedge, broke down, formed another wedge, broke down. And on this lower scale, you could probably, draw out another little wedge there, making a new peak, which would be that 3 peak that we're talking about. And let's look at some of the indicators. While this new price action is happening to the upside, we're looking positive so far. That's an island gap right there. I do believe that gap will close probably this week. Nope, don't want to see that. Okay. MACD made a new, looks like a new high right here. About equal highs. So I can't say that that negative divergence is exactly right there, but we have this one all the way across here. So Here is again, that's a 3 peak right here. Negative divergence. Once again at this new high. So what might happen, I think we said this yesterday. Actually, I think it did already. So we made our peak and then consolidation and made a lower high just in this near term and made a higher high into that point right there. So that's what we're looking for. We don't really need to see it happen again, but it could. And so you have the slow stochastic rolling over here, and maybe that causes a negative day coming up. Now, just to mention that in the VIX, we had that I believe is a 12% drop in the VIX, which is indicating that it's likely today or tomorrow we get our reversal, a negative day in SPY. DMARC, we had our 9 count yesterday, and then price went just a little bit higher, which is not unusual, and starting to get possibly a reversal at this point. All right, that would signify the reversal. It happens. It happens often. You can check the, as we do this, get your 9 count. We had a reversal at the 9 count. Doesn't always happen that way. All right, that went lower. You did have the correction here at the 9 count, or 1 bar after. This, you had it at the 9 count. This really, I guess, a little bit higher, and then a correction. The 13 that was on it, correction. So some of them are small corrections while you're in the uptrend, or they can be bigger reversals at the end of, especially when you have it on the higher time frames, which we do. We have it on the weekly time frame, a 9 count, daily, and 65. What's next here? Awesome oscillator. All right, made a new high, so we can't say divergence went across there. We did get the correction off of that divergence, so we can leave that on there. Corrected, and now made a new high. Does this continue to move higher in that case and start burning through these? Or is this just considered a divergence from multiple highs here? All right, that's what we'll have to start to figure out on the lower time frame. It was a strong move. So what is this going to happen now? Is this a 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5 higher? Make all-time highs? We'll see. Money flow, still getting a little bit higher, but you still have that negative divergence here. And with the correction here, this could make its own high and create a sell setup in itself. But we're looking at distribution on the higher time frames, even though in this lower time frame we're starting to get some buy. We don't have any negative divergence in the near term yet. Bollinger Band, got the sell signal off of there. Not today. Nothing to see today for the 65. Maybe we get it just a little bit higher and then create another one. An Elliott oscillator doing the same thing. Is very similar to the Awesome oscillator. They're based off of moving averages, so no need to recreate that. Let's see what happens in the near term. So that's what I have for you. Looking strong in the 65 minute, but in the daily time frame, we're just building and building and building, waiting for that reversal to happen. I think that is coming really, really soon. Any day now, really. So yep, that's what we got for you. Thanks for joining us here at OptionsTender. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow.